In the last class, we have learned in decision tree induction, we have learned methods for expressing attribute test conditions, right? 4 methods we have discussed. Then in the previous 2 classes, in the same topic, that is decision tree induction, we have learned about how to build a decision tree and how the decision tree works, right? So today we'll discuss methods for expressing attribute test conditions and measures to determine the best split. So methods for expressing attribute test conditions, it depends on attribute types. First one is binary. It generates 2 potential outcomes. Second one is nominal. This one we have discussed in the last class, right? Today we'll discuss all this in detail. Okay, second one is nominal. It can have many values. So multi-way split or binary split can be used. Third one is ordinal. It can have ordered group. It should not violate the order property of attribute values. Fourth one is continuous. It can contain continuous values. So we can use comparison test like A less than B or A greater than or equal to V with binary outcome. Binary outcome will be only 2 values like 0 or 1 or true or false, or a range query with outcomes of the form A greater than or equal to Vi and less than Vi plus 1. So it's a range. A value, that is attribute A value, can range from Vi to Vi plus 1. For example, Vi is 1, for example, and Vi plus 1 is 10. So 1 to 10 values we can consider here. This is continuous value. When we have continuous values, we can use like this. So it's a range. Or if we want to obtain the binary outcome, we can use the comparison test like A less than B or A greater than or equal to V. That is attribute value less than the value V or attribute value greater than the, or equal to the value V. Okay. Ordinal, I told you, ordinal means it will be having ordered group. It should not violate the ordered property of attribute values. We'll discuss that. We have discussed this also. In the last class, I told you one simple example on the size of the shirt, right? And then nominal. Nominal, it can have many values. So multi-way split or binary split can be used for this. And then binary means it will generate 2 outcomes. 2 potential outcomes. 2 outcome will be there. So divide the attribute values into 2. Okay. So multi-way split. Multi-way split means use as many partition as distinct values. That is, if you have for marital status, in the last class we were discussing this example, that is to check whether a loan borrower is defaulted borrower or not. That is whether he can repay the loan or not. To check that, we have taken this example, right? In that, one attribute is marital status. In marital status, we have 3 values, right? Single, divorced, and married. So use that is each as one branch of the tree. Okay, use each value as one branch of the tree. That is, use as many partition as distinct values. That is, if you have 10 distinct values, use all the 10 distinct values. So that is 10 partitions or 10 divisions. Okay. Or you can use the binary split. Divides values into 2 subsets. This is what we have done, right? So marital status, married, then single or divorced in single group. Single and divorced in single group. Or single in one group, then married and divorced in another group. So it is divided into 2 partition. Okay. Or single and married into one group, divorced in another group. Okay. In all these cases, we have divided the values into 2 subsets. So it is binary split. Only 2 partitions we have. So this is binary split. Next one, test condition for ordinal attributes. So whatever we have discussed for nominal attributes, okay, this is for nominal attributes, and test condition for ordinal attributes now. So multi-way split. If we use multi-way split, use as many partition as distinct values. Like for example, if we consider the shirt size can be small, medium, large, extra large. Then if we use the binary split, we can divide the values into two subsets, but we have to be very careful that it should preserve the order property. Okay, it should preserve the order property of the attribute values. We can divide the values into two subsets, but it should preserve the order property of attribute values. Okay, so if I consider this shirt size, small and medium, then large and extra large. Small, medium, large, extra large. Or you can divide it into two, small, medium, large, extra large in another group. Okay, it should preserve the order property. So you can see that on the left hand side, we have small and medium. It is in order. Again, on the right hand side, we have large and extra large. Again, it is also in order. Again, the second picture, in the second picture, that is this one. So we have then medium, extra large in another subset, right? Medium, large, extra large in another subset. Again, it is in order. Anyhow, on the left hand side, we have only one value, that is small. So we need not to worry about the order there. But on the right hand side, we have medium, large, and extra large. It is in order. So it has to preserve the order property. Okay. Now consider this example. So shirt size, small and large in left branch, and medium and extra large in right branch. So this is, we cannot use this split. Reason is it is not preserving the order property. We don't have order property here. It is not preserving that. This grouping violates order property because small and large is in on the left hand side and medium and extra large is on the right hand side. So it should preserve the order property. When we are dividing it into binary split, you can, when you are making subsets, so we have to be very careful that it should be in order. That is ordinal attribute. Ordinal attribute means it should be in order. The test condition for continuous attributes. For test condition for continuous attributes, on the left hand side, that is first diagram, we can say it's a binary split. Okay, we can check annual income greater than 80K. That is a question mark. So for this question mark, annual income, whether it is greater than 80K, yes or no? Okay, that is the answer. Yes or no? Annual income greater than 80K. Yes or no? That is the answer. So it's a binary split. Then on the right hand side, we have second diagram, second figure. So it's a multi-way split. For the multi-way split, you can have many ranges. Annual income question mark. What is annual income? So whether it is less than 10K. That is first one. Okay. First one is less than 10K. Second one is including 10K up to 25K, excluding 25K. Okay. That is, you know this, I hope you know this bracket. On the left hand side, we have square bracket, and on the right hand side, we have parenthesis. So I hope you know that. I hope you wait for a second. So here, I hope you know this bracket, that is on the left hand side, we have square bracket, that means include it. Okay. So on the right hand side, we have parenthesis, that means exclude that. Okay. So include 10K, exclude 25K, but the range is in between 10K to 25K. It might be 11K, it might be 15K, it might be 17K. Okay. That is up to 25K, excluding 25K. In the next range, include 25K, up to 50K, excluding 50K. Okay, that is another range. And then next range is including 50K up to 80K, excluding 80K. Okay, it is up to 79. I can consider up to 79. 80th one, 80K, it will be excluded. Okay, on the this is last range, that is 5 ranges we have. That is fifth range is greater than 80K. First range is less than 10K. So this is multi-way split for the continuous attributes. I hope you understood this concept. We'll move on to the next concept. So splitting based on continuous attributes. So different ways, in different ways we can handle this. Okay, to split the continuous attributes, we can use different ways. That is, we have seen here, that is binary split and the multi-way split we have seen, right? So discretization is converting continuous attributes into categorical attribute. I told you about the categorical attribute. Categorical attribute means finite number of groups will be there. Finite number of attribute values will be there. For example, yes and no. If marital status, single, divorced, and married. So 3 values we have. So I hope you're getting that is discretization, converting continuous attributes into categorical attribute. Converting continuous attribute into categorical attribute. That is, if you want to divide the income, for example, it might be greater than 80K and less than 80K, for example. Greater than 80K, including 80K to more than 80K, it is one group. Up to 80K, less than 80K, it is another group. We can divide like that. That is one example for splitting based on the discretization. Okay, ranges can be found by equal interval bucketing, equal frequency bucketing, or clustering. Okay, we'll discuss this in detail. Then static. Static means discretize once at the beginning. Discretize once at the beginning, or dynamic, repeat at each node. Repeat the division with discretization at each node. Okay, that is dynamic. Then binary decision. Binary decision means A less than the value B or A greater than or equal to value B. That is binary decision. This is also we have discussed in the last slide with an example, right? So consider all possible splits and find the best cut. Consider all possible splits, then find the best cut. Problem with this is it can be more compute intensive. It will take a lot of computing, that is processing time or computing time. How to determine the best split? So here we have an example, customer ID, that is one attribute, then gender, another attribute, car type, one attribute, then shirt size, another attribute. Here we have 2 classes in class, C0 and C1. Here we have 2 classes in classification class, that is C0 and C1. For customer ID, we have the values from 1 to 20. Then gender can be male or female. Then car type can be family, sports, or luxury. Then shirt size can be small, medium, large, or extra large. Okay. So these are the values we have. Now, before splitting, 10 records of class 0 we have. Then 10 records of class 1 we have. That is, this is before splitting. Before splitting, we have 10 records of class 0, then 10 records of class 1, right? Then, if we want to divide the gender, anyhow, we have only 2 possible values in that, male and female, divided. When we divide it, again, check for the classes. Okay, check for the classes. So, 2 classes we have here, C0 and C1. For male, 6 C0 classes we have, and then 4 C1 class we have. So you can notice here, this is male, right? C naught, right? Male C naught. Then again, male C naught, right? Then male C naught. Like this, we have 6 values. Okay, we'll check. So first 6 values, right? First 6 values, it is for C naught. Okay, first 6 values, it is for C naught. Fine. So 6 values for male, it is C naught. So C naught is 6. You can notice the values on the left hand side of the node. Okay. Then for C1, here you can notice we have 4 C1. 4 C1 values we have for male. Okay. So C naught is equal to 6 and C1 is equal to 4. Then similarly for female, we have 4 C naught values. You can see here, obviously 6 C naught values for male means remaining 4 values of C naught for female. Right? Again, 4 values of C1 for male means 6 values of C1 for female. Okay. So this is how it will be split. Okay. This is before splitting 10 records of class 0 and 10 records of class 1. Now, after splitting using the attribute gender, we have male and female. In male, we have 6 C naught values, 4 C1 values. Then for female, we have 4 C naught values and 6 C1 values. Okay, I hope you're getting. Then consider the next attribute. So car type. For car type, we have family, sports, and luxury. So for family, we have 1 C naught value, 3 C1 value. I hope you understood how to check this value, how it has been written. Okay, I hope you understood that. Okay, you can just check with the table. So for family, C naught value we have, that is first value C naught. Okay, then for up to this, we don't have any family car type, right? That is up to 10. After that, we have 1, 2, and 3. 3 family values we have, that is for C1. Okay, this is how we have to check. Similarly, for sports, we have 8 C naught values and 0 C1 values. Okay, so all the car type of sports, it belongs to C naught. Okay, sports car belongs to C naught. Then for the luxury, 1 C naught value we have and 7 C1 values we have. Okay, so we'll go for the next example. So customer ID. Customer ID, you can see here. If I use customer ID, it is, you can see the dot here. Okay, you can see the dot here. So for each and every value, it has been written. For each and every value. For C1, then C2, C3, C4, up to C20. Okay, C1 to C20, it has been written. And then for C1, if I write, obviously 1 C naught value. Value is 1, customer ID is 1, value is C naught. C1 is 0, right? Then if I write for customer ID 2, then again C naught is equal to 1 and then C1 is equal to 0. I hope you are getting the concept. Okay. Similarly, so this is written for all the 20 values. This is written for all the 20 values. Okay. Understood? So we have gender, we have car type, and we have customer ID. Okay. For these 3, we have written. Again for shirt size also you can write. For shirt size also you can write. So we have 4 values. In 4 values, that is small, medium, large, and extra large, 4 values we have. In these 4 values, how to split that depending on the classes, you can write that also. So we have 3 values. For 3 values, we have written here. Okay. Then which test condition is the best? That is first one, second one, or third one. Okay. This is the concept of how to determine the best split. Okay. Which test condition is the best? So we'll discuss that in the next slide. So greedy approach, we can use the greedy approach. Nodes with purer class distributions are preferred. Nodes with purer class distributions are preferred. What is purer class distribution? We'll tell you that with an example. Then need a measure of node impurity. We need a measure for checking the node impurity. How impure it is. How much that node is impure. We need to know that. Okay. So first we need to check what is high degree of impurity. That is C0 is equal to 5 and C1 is equal to 5. Okay, consider C0 is equal to 5 and C1 is equal to 5. That is equal values of C0 we have, C0 and C1 we have. Okay, for some attribute. Okay, consider for yes and no, for example, we have 50% yes and 50% no. Which one to consider? Yes or no? Because that yes is 50% and no is also 50%. It is difficult to consider like that. So it has high degree of impurity. I hope you're getting. If we have 50% of yes and 50% of no, what is to be classified there? Whether I need to consider that attribute value as yes or attribute value as no. It is confusing because both we have 50%, right? Then if I consider this C0, I have 9 values, 9 C0 values I have, and 1 C1 value I have. So it's a low degree of impurity. It's a low degree of impurity. So I can consider for such an attribute, I can consider C0 as the classification. For such an attribute, I can consider C0 as the classification because maximum value is C0. It is 9. So it is low degree of impurity. I hope you understood. Nodes with purer class distribution are preferred. Okay, we'll go back to the previous slide. What is purer distribution? This one. If I consider sports. Okay, if I consider sports car type. So all the values belongs to C0 here. All the values belongs to C0. Car type sports means the classification is C0. So it is purer degree of classification. It is very pure. That is, if the car type is sport, I can directly say that classification is C0. Again, for family, you can notice 1 C0 value we have and 3 C1 value we have. So I can consider the maximum value, that is C1. Then for luxury, C0 value is equal to 1 value we have and C1 7 values we have. So I can consider luxury as C1. So these two have low degree of impurity, family and luxury car type. Okay. So I hope you understood this concept. Then measure of node impurity. To measure node impurity, we have different methods. So we can use Gini index. Gini index is equal to 1 minus I is equal to 0 to C minus 1 Pi of T square. Okay. So where Pi of T is the frequency of class I at node T and C is the total number of classes. Okay. How many classes we have? That is C. For example, in the previous one, we have only 2 classes, right? C0 and C1. Right? C0 and C1. So C is 2. Okay. Pi of T, that is the frequency of class I. Frequency of class I means how many times that class we have. For example, in the beginning, before splitting, we have 10 classes of C0, of type C0, and 10 classes of 10 example of type C1 we had, right? So that is the frequency. Pi of T means what is the frequency of that class. Okay, this is Gini index. And then second one is entropy. We can calculate the entropy. Entropy is equal to minus summation of I is equal to 0 to C minus 1 Pi of T into log Pi of T to the base 2. Okay, this is entropy. We'll discuss all these in detail. Okay, then misclassification error. Classification error is equal to 1 minus maximum of Pi of T. Okay, these are the 3 important formulas that we can use for checking the node impurity. We'll discuss all these in the next class. Okay, so finding the best split. Compute impurity measures of P before splitting. Okay, second one, we'll discuss this with an example. Compute impurity measure of M after splitting. Okay, impurity measure P, that is before splitting, and impurity measure M after splitting. Okay, that is, we'll discuss that, you'll come to know. Compute impurity measures of each child node. Then M is the weighted impurity of child nodes. M is the weighted impurity of the child nodes. So choose the attribute test condition that produces the highest gain. So how to calculate that? Gain is equal to P minus M, or equivalently lowest impurity measures after splitting M. So consider this example, that is before splitting. Consider C0 and C1. So N00 number of times, that is according to the example, N00 means it is 10. C1 is N01, that is also 10. N00 is 10, N01 is 10. So this is before splitting, that is called as P. Okay, that is called as P. Then attribute A. For attribute A, if yes, then node 1. If no, then node 2. Okay, then calculate what is C0 for this and what is C1 for this. For node 2 also, how many number of C0 we have, how many number of C1 we have, calculate that. Okay, then check for the attribute B also. Okay, again, if node is that is yes, the value of attribute B is yes, then node 3. Then attribute value is no, then node 4. Okay, again count how many C0 values we have and how many C1 values we have. Then C0 and C1 for node 4 also you check. Then calculate M1. This is for the child node. Okay, M11, M12, M21 and M22. Using this, which one is better? You assign it to M1. You assign it to M1. Then M21 and M22 we have. Again, you assign it to M2. Among these two, you consider the gain. So gain is equal to P minus M1 versus P minus M2. I hope you understood this concept. Again, we'll discuss this concept in the next class with some example. Okay, I hope you understood the concept. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll stop here. Don't quit. I'll take the attendance.